Good morning. Good morning. Parents, are you awake? Are you up? Trying to keep my voice a little bit low. Josiah is still asleep. He'll be up in a little bit. But I want to speak to the busy parents. Any busy parents out there? Today, I want to talk to you about pride in parenting and how it does not work. I woke up this morning thinking about pride in parenting and how it doesn't work. If you're here, just say, hey, good morning. It's me. I'm here so that I know who is with me. So I'm going to talk to parents, all right? If you are a high achieving parent, if you're an entrepreneur, if you are an educator yourself that includes homeschool moms and dads, this is for you. I want you to keep listening. All right. This is for you. And in fact, if you know someone who fits in any of those groups, you can share this. This is for them. I'm going to talk to you today about pride in parenting. Pride in parenting, pride in parenting. All right, you entrepreneurs, I know that you're building outside of your home. And even if your child is in school, you see their future big and bright because you're planning for that. And I know that what you're building is huge, and you want to also make sure that you're doing what your due diligence as a school parent. If you're an educator, I know that you know how to do some of this for others, and you might be struggling with taking the emotions out of the driver's seat and leading with relationships so that you can access what your kid, what your child, what your children need to learn. If you are high achieving, you can invest and you have, and you probably will access the resources that are needed, but you also want to manage your time to be more present and more aware of what's going on with your child. So if you fit into any of those categories, I'm talking to you about pride in parenting. Pride in parenting. So I woke up this morning and pride in parenting was on my mind. And I went to Proverbs 13, specifically pride. I don't know why. God just gave me that scripture. So I went and I was like, what's this? What's this about? What's this? And I started to read. So I'm going to read it in just a minute. But I want you to know that today I'm having a workshop and we're going to focus on really getting clear on our time management. So I'm having a Parent Plus workshop. It is completely free for you to come and tap in. And what it is 45 minutes to an hour where we look at what's going on with your child, set a big goal, the steps to complete or achieve the goal, and then 30-day plan. Okay. That's what we do. So come on into the workshop. And if you register, you may be able to access the replay as well. So the first thing I want you to do is know that homework time tends to be a time of a lot of contention, right? A time when parents are trying to get their children to try to get something done. And oftentimes there is a disconnect. And I want you to know that pride in parenting does not work. So we're going to talk specifically about homework time and three things you can do during homework time to lay the pride aside and to prioritize relationship. The first thing that you can do is get busy on something else. So if you have a designated space and a designated time for homework, it doesn't mean that you have to be right beside your child as they get started and get set up. It's about releasing some of that responsibility, releasing some of that control, some of that influence, and allowing them to really take the lead. So what you can do is have the homework area set up. If the homework area is their bedroom, maybe adjust that, make it somewhere that's out in the open, or if the bedroom is a better place, maybe you are not in there, but you pop in. So I'm getting some of these tips from experience. I remember homework time in my house. I remember we would sit down and it was just hard. It was just a hard time. Not every time, but some of my memories, it was just a hard time because I didn't understand some of the concepts. I didn't remember how my teacher taught it. My mom was showing me something different. Dad was asking me where my notes were or what was going on at school, and I just had a challenging time. And so a part of it is making a little bit of space for your child to really own their homework time. That may also look like you're sweeping in the living room, if they're in the kitchen, You're wiping down or doing dishes. You're nearby, but you're not right up under them so that they have a sense of responsibility, a sense of ownership, and a sense of freedom to get things done. Now, pride would tell you, nah, I need to be sitting next to them, make sure they do this, and make sure they do it the way I know they need to do it. But there is no pride in parenting. We're going to lay that aside. We're going to throw it to the side because we do not need the pride in parenting. In fact, by definition, pride means um, a feeling of deep pleasure or satisfaction derived from one's own achievements, the achievements of those with whom one is closely associated, or from qualities or possessions that are widely admired. Consciousness of one's own dignity. All right. So those don't seem like bad definitions. It's like, okay, I know what I did, I know what I can do. But homework time is not about you, mom and dad, and neither is school success. And really, neither is your child's success. It is about them. So Proverbs 13, I said that I would read it. The whole chapter is amazing. But let's go down to um, let's go down to verse. Oh my goodness. Okay, so there's two different verses. I mean, there's two different scriptures. Um, let's go to Proverbs 16:18. That's what's most well known. And then we'll go to the Proverbs 13. Okay, so first, sorry. I'm getting okay ahead of myself. So Proverbs 16:18 through 21. Pride goes before destruction and a haughty spirit before a fall. Better to be of a humble spirit with the lowly than to divide the spoil of the proud. He who heeds the word wisely will find good, and whoever trusting the Lord, he is happy. The wise in heart will be called prudent, and sweetness of the lips increases learning. Come on now, Bible. Come on, Bible. Come on now, Bible. So that shows us what can happen with pride, destruction, and what can happen with humility. It says, the wise in heart will be called prudent, and sweetness of the lips increases learning. Don't you want your child to increase in learning? It's a good scripture to just remember, especially during homework time. So, the first way that you can take the pride out of your parenting is get busy doing some other stuff. Let your child have a sense of ownership over their homework, over their work. And of course, you're there to support, you're there to assist, you're there to help, you're there to correct if needed to keep them on track. But make sure that your pride is not leading in you supporting your child. All right, that makes sense? That makes sense? You may say, oh my gosh, I didn't realize I was doing that. Like I'm hovering, like I'm over my child every time we're doing work. And okay, take a deep breath. It is okay. It is okay. Come to today's workshop and we're going to talk through that so that we have a plan where you can really place more of the responsibility and the ownership in your child's hands in order for them to lead their learning, right? You're leading them, but they can lead their learning. All right, number two. Are you ready for number two? Give me a number two. I'm gonna check my Facebook and see who's on with me. I should be able to see y'all's comments. Um, I should be able to see your comments. So let me just see. Let me know if you can see this. All right, I'm putting a comment up for myself. Yay, I can see this. Okay, welcome. Okay, so number two. Okay, we talked about busy yourself, don't nag, give them a sense of responsibility. Number two is to walk away. I know. Walk away. So some people will call it picking or choosing your battles. Some people will call it, knowing when to walk away. Every debate is not a battle. Choose your struggle, whatever you want to call it. There are some times when your children want to take your focus off of whatever needs to happen onto, all right, let's do this back and forth. It happened when I was a teacher. I remember I would be teaching, maybe a student would be talking or um, being a distraction by, it could be anything. Kids are creative. It could really be anything. And so I may address that or a nonverbal. Nonverbal is always great first. I may give a nonverbal gesture and try to help correct the situation. And then the situation could be escalated. It's like, oh, you see me? Let me do more. Sometimes that happens. I'm just being honest. And so I had a decision. And parents, you have a decision to make. You can take it to the next level or you can walk away. There are some times when, for your own peace and stability and mental health, and because there is a goal of learning, it is okay to walk away. And homework time could be one of those times. I don't know why I'm on homework times, but I'll just stay there. So if your child is showing you how their teacher explained it, it's not how you're explaining to them, but they are being successful with a different process of learning. I'm specifically thinking about math, y'all, specifically because the new math be new mathing, right? And it's not how all of us learned how to do math. But the thing about math is there are multiple ways to get the right answer. And especially if you're showing your understanding and you're showing your work and you're working through it and you're checking your work. So if that is a struggle for you, I want you to type amen in the chat. Okay? Because if that's a struggle, there may be an opportunity for you to simply walk away. Walk away. And I'm not talking about stomp away or walk away with an attitude. You may say, you know what? I see you got it. All right. And you walk away. Wow, I didn't learn it that way, but you really know that. And walk away. You may walk away with no words. You might need a moment. Or you might walk away and say, I'll be right back. Okay? There is a time and a place for walking away. And pride in parenting does not work. So the walk away is a move that I want you all to try. All right. Number one, get busy doing something else. Let them have ownership, especially during homework time. Number two is walk away. Walk away. Walk away. I remember when Josiah, I forgot how old he was. Y'all, I've been blessed, bless me and bless him because Josiah is a little man. And some of it is because I use all of my words when talking to him. And he knows his mama. His mama is an educator. I'm a teacher. By the way, I'm speaking to you educators who are like, I expect my child to. Yes, 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 yes. But early on, I told Josiah, I would tell him, okay, walk away. And that was to redirect his attention. That was to redirect his energy. That was to redirect wherever we were headed, and especially in the toddler days, it was to redirect. Okay. And so I want to tell you that there are going to be moments and opportunities where you need to walk away. It's not going anywhere. The discussion is over. The conversation is null and void. What you're about to say or do is going to be operating in pride, and you don't need to do that. So, parents, it's okay to walk away. It's all right. Okay? All right. And remember, if you're like, I'm struggling with this, I'm challenged with this, I'm here to support you as a coach. Some people, most people, some parents, most parents, many parents, especially if you are high achieving, if you're an entrepreneur, or if you're an educator, need a coach just to look at what you're seeing and help you to take a step back, walk away, take a step back, and to approach it differently. And so in our workshop today, we're going to specifically look at time management and this idea of I have to be in the mix. I have to take control. And really, it's the art of allowing your children the opportunity to influence, to make decisions, and to have a sense of control over their learning. All right. Y'all good? We good? We still trucking? All right. You with me? Okay. Number three. And I love this one. Number three, number three, number three. Ouch. I was sitting on my leg, y'all, my ankle. Oof. Okay, so how many of you love a good lecture? How many of you love to lecture? It's time for you to do your homework. I pay too much for you to go to school. Me and your mama drop you off. And I don't know what you say, right? I haven't activated that level of parenting just yet because I drives us to school. But I know that in the hustle and bustle, in the envisioning and somewhat frustration, there can be times where you really, really want to lay it on thick. Like, this is lecture time. Oh, y'all done this. That was the last straw. Now I got my scroll of reasons why you should be listening, why you should do what I said. And there's a time for discussion and elaboration, but I want you all to take the pride out of parenting, and I want us to focus on this. I want us to focus on this. All right. More is caught than is taught. Have y'all ever heard that? More is caught than is taught. I want you to think about what that means for a second. More is caught than is taught. And if more is caught than is taught, that means that my actions, not just what I say, but also what I do, is what translates to my child. Yes, they hear me, but they also watch, they observe, and they learn from my doing. And so, since we're using homework time, let's stick with homework time. When it comes to homework time, and you're saying, turn the TV off, you don't need no distractions, put your phone up, um, you have to think about what you may be modeling all day. And I'm going to step on some toes, but it's in love. Waking up with your phone, texting while driving, texting while talking, texting at dinner, watching TV, reading a book, watching TV doing work, on the phone in the line with the cashier, on the phone at the store. Like, I stepped on my own toes too. These are things that I know that my son observes. And so when I'm saying no TV time or hand me the phone or the tablet, I have to think about what is more is caught than is taught. So there's more in my doing than my telling. So when it comes to, again, I'm using homework time. Maybe this is resonating with somebody specifically. There's a reason why I keep coming back to homework time. But the expectations and the vision for success, like we talked about yesterday, really starts with what are you modeling for them? You may not have homework, right? You're an adult. You may or may not have homework. But what are the tasks that are important and require your undivided attention, where you are being distracted in them? Okay. Here's something that I'm working on. Honestly, it's something I'm working on is making sure that my phone is not priority at all times. I do a lot of work from my phone, a lot, majority. In fact, my phone is right here. I do a lot of calls and sessions and sending proposals and speaker engagements and different things on different platforms, and it revolves around the phone. One day, right, Josiah will understand mommy's working. But right now, he knows I'm working, he knows I'm talking, but some of it seems like I'm playing on the phone, right? And so, because I know that developmentally that's where he is, I have to monitor how much I have my phone out and on my phone and trying to multitask. And I want you to think about homework time. What routines can you set up for yourself that can support what you're asking of your child? So maybe if your reading is quiet, maybe there is a no electronics time of day. Maybe you are no longer, at the kitchen table doing your work, but you are moving into your office, into the space that's designated for that. Or perhaps you are supporting your child's learning by, I don't know why I thought about this, but like not vacuuming during homework time or not talking loudly on the phone when they're concentrating on studying for a chemistry test. Like, there are things that we can not only say, but we can do that can support our children. And I want you to know that a lot of it starts with cutting out the lecture and teaching time management, a schedule. Do you have a schedule posted in your house? I printed out our schedule. So right now I'm on schedule, and in 13 minutes is the time that Josiah can start to wake up. We got a 15-minute window. And so by 7:15, he is up and we are ready to cuddle, snuggle, not cuddle, hug because we got to get up, but to give some cuddles, some hugs, some love, get dressed, get to the restroom, grab a bite, and transition out the door. It's a schedule. So it prevents me from rushing, and it helps me not get frustrated, and it teaches time management. All right, it's time to get up. I don't want to get up. I know, but it's time to get up. All right, it's time to brush your teeth. Okay, it's homework time. I don't have any homework. Great. You got 20 minutes to study a subject or to review your notes or to do a practice quiz. Like, no homework doesn't mean no practice. We're going to talk about that. Because I don't even, should I say it on here? I won't say it. Homework is interesting, right? Homework serves a purpose, but what I want us to think about even more, parents, is daily practice of learning. Like, let's just practice what we've learned. I had a tutoring session yesterday. I started up with a warm up question. It's a concept we have not gone over explicitly in a while, but it's still something I know my student knows. And so I talked about that warming up. I talked about what he could be doing to practice, even when we're not tutoring and teaching that specific topic. Here's a way that you can keep your skills sharp, right? Because you do know it, but it takes practice to bring it back up. And believe it or not, you're going to see some of these concepts again and again and again as the school year takes off. So we talked about 3 ways that you could take pride out of parenting. Number 1, do you remember? Get busy doing something else. Okay, do something else. Busy yourself. Sometimes we hover so much that we actually prevent the thing that we're trying to encourage, which is true authentic learning and excitement and joy in learning. Number 2, walk away. Walk away. Everything is not a battle. Everything is not a fight. Everything is not a debate. Walk away. It's okay to walk away, and not with the attitude, not haughty, not pridefully. Just walk away. All right. Number 3, we just talked about number 3 is don't lecture, teach time management. All right. It doesn't have to be a dissertation right out loud. Just practice what you preach. Yeah. That gets the message across. Think about the things that your parents taught you through saying and the things that your parents taught you through doing. All right. More is caught than is taught. And then I'm going to bring up, and I read Proverbs 16:18 through 21. If anybody is interested in, like, all right, what you talking about? Where does this come from? And this is Proverbs 13:10. That's another scripture about pride. And this is the one that I actually sat on. Y'all, the whole verse, like 13, Proverbs 13 was on fire. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read it all till I get to 10. A wise son heeds his father's instructions, but a scoffer does not listen to rebuke. A man shall eat well by the fruit of his mouth, but the soul of the unfaithful feeds on violence. He who guards his mouth preserves his life, but he who opens wide his lips shall have destruction. The soul of a lazy man desires and has nothing, but the soul of the diligent shall be made rich. A righteous man hates lying, but a wicked man is loathsome and comes to shame. Righteousness guards him whose way is blameless, but wickedness overthrows the sinner. There is one who makes himself rich, yet has nothing, and one who makes himself poor, yet has great riches. The ransom of a man's life is his riches, but the poor does not hear rebuke. The light of the righteous rejoices, but the lamp of the wicked will be put out. Here we go, verse 10. By pride comes nothing but strife. That'll preach. But with the well advised is wisdom. Okay, so we can't be full of wisdom and prideful at the same time. And I know if you are a high achieving entrepreneur or educator parent, you are wanting wisdom. You are wanting understanding and application of that knowledge so that you can be a well advised parent. It says, verse 10 says, by pride comes nothing but strife, but with the well advised is wisdom. We're operating in wisdom. We have to take the pride out of parenting. Look, if you are interested in learning more, if you are eager to learn more about taking this pride out of your parenting, I want you to come to today's workshop. And I want you to schedule a strategy session because that strategy session is your one on one time to get very clear about what's going on with your child, about what your needs are with your child, and to be purposeful with a plan and a strategy. I'm so excited when I get to talk to parents who are ready to apply what they have learned. In fact, I have a follow up with one of my parents that I'm coaching today, and I can't wait to hear the results because she immediately put into play what we talked about a couple of weeks ago. If you are interested, drop a success in the comments. All right? Success. And then I'll know, send you the link so that we can get set up, we can get scheduled, and we can begin to work together. That's it. That's all. We are taking the pride out of parenting by busying ourselves with something else, walking away, and not lecturing, but teaching time management through our actions. That's it. That's all. I will see you guys a little bit later. Have a fantastic